Grant was diagnosed with cancer, ALL leukemia, in October 22nd, 2016. April 1st, we got a call that said they believed that his bone marrow had shown a relapse and they wanted to repeat it in a few weeks just to make sure, and he would continue on his chemo journey until then. When we went back May 1st of 2017, they confirmed that indeed he did relapse and we needed to head for a bone marrow transplant. At that time, I was 35 weeks pregnant with Wyatt. We talked about the possibility of saving his cord blood, but it would only be a 25% chance that he would be a match for Grant. So we kind of thought there's probably not gonna happen. We're gonna have to figure out something else. So we started looking at the registry at that time, and Grant started prepping for transplant. Some of the things people don't realize when a child is diagnosed with cancer are the financial burden and the emotional burden that is placed on the entire family, not just the child, not just the parents. When Grant was in the room and we would be at his bedside, I didn't want to leave. I actually didn't leave his room for 30 days almost. I would have all of my meals delivered to me because I just never knew what the next moment would bring. I never knew if he would have a reaction to the chemo or if he would have a hard time breathing. So I never wanted to be away from his side. And my husband and I had to take time off of work. I was out of work basically 6 months out of the year that he was in treatment. It was an extreme burden financially, and it breaks up a lot of families, and we had that same hard time just like every family has. You know, it's hard to emotionally see your child go through something and not be able to fix it, and financially be struggling. There's just so much that goes on. The amount of travel and time spent in the car. My husband and I spent many, many nights sleeping in different places. Our entire family didn't sleep in the same room for months after Wyatt was born because my husband would be with Grant and I would be with Wyatt at the Ronald McDonald House. It takes a toll on a family. Grant was diagnosed on a Saturday, and Monday morning, I got a call from ATIS. One of our friends who we know, who is a part of Candlelighters, reached out to ATIS and told her that our family had a new diagnosis. And she called and said, "I'm ATIS from Candlelighters, and I just heard about your son, and we know you're going through a hard time, so we want to be here to help you." Since then, they've always been that emotional support that you need. I can't even tell you how much financial support they've given us over the years, between helping pay for gas and tolls, our electric bill, any prescriptions. If we needed help with money for prescriptions, they were there. There's not anything that I've ever reached out and asked them that they weren't able to try and help us in some way. Like I said, emotionally, it helped my marriage. It helped my family dynamic. It helped me be happy for the moments I could be happy so that I could also be there for Grant and Wyatt. So Grant is currently 5. So Wyatt was born May 16th, and after a couple of weeks of testing, we were able to find that he was the perfect match for Grant. He was 100% match, which was a godsend to us. I mean, we couldn't have been more relieved. And not only that, but the amount of cord blood was the exact amount that we would need based on Grant's weight for this transplant. So we just knew that this was God's way of giving us the gift of his life. He goes to VPK program, normal, healthy kid. If you look at him now, you would never know that he was ever sick, which is a blessing. Now he plays baseball, he rides go-karts, and just loves life, which is the best feeling in the entire world. He just is like one of those happy-go-lucky kids. The support we got from Candlelighters was so important to us that we want to help other families going through a tough time. Even if it's a shoulder to lean on or someone to call for a resource to find out where you can stay or what you can do or what the next step is, or what maybe the reaction to a certain chemo was. When you're going through the journey, just having someone to listen who's been there and isn't going to make you feel like poor pity you, because sometimes that's not actually what you're looking for. You just want to vent and feel normal, even though everything you're going through is not normal. It is extremely important to help Candlelighters because every family is in need financially and emotionally. And if Candlelighters did not help us, we would not be able to provide for our children the way we were able to. They have some kind of resource for anything you can think of. And if they don't, they try to figure out a way that they can help every family, because every family is so different and their dynamic of being able to help every family is amazing.